Hi, you're probably wondering, why am I making this? It's important that you understand I am very worried about the future of our country. What I see happening in the economy, I don't see being put forth by the news media. I hear different people talking about how good the economy, how there's going to be recovery, but I want to see it in the figures, and I don't see it right now. And what I see, I go to this website, usdebt.org or usdebtclock.org, and you look at the statistics that are on the web, it's frightening. It is really frightening to me. I look at our income as a country, the income we get each year from taxes, revenue, and what have you is $2.2 trillion. Dollars. It's a lot of money. However, our expenditures are $3.6 trillion. Dollars. That's a deficit of $1.4 trillion. Dollars. That's an incredible amount of money. That means we're spending $1.4 trillion more than we're taking in. It is like you making $65,000 a year, but you can't stop your wife from spending $100,000 a year. That's the real ratio there. You're making 65, but you can't stop yourself from spending 100,000 a year. On top of that, if you look at the ratios of our current debt, which is over $15 trillion. That's how much we owe right now as a country. It's the equivalent of you having a $600 or $700,000 mortgage. Right now, remember what I said, 65,000 what you're making, but your wife is spending 100,000 and you got a $700,000 mortgage with a variable rate interest. Yeah, and that interest rate, the variable rate that we're paying, is only like 2% right now. That's what we're getting on our treasury bills. 2%. Now, what happens if it goes up to 5? Okay, why am I concerned about that? Well, let's talk in realistic terms. Um, our income, once again, is $2.2 trillion. That's how much the U.S. gets in. And how much interest do we pay on that? We're paying 200,000 or $200 billion worth of interest on that. Okay, well, let's get to the ratios part so you can understand. Um, if you look at how much the interest payment is on our expenditures, okay, $200 billion over $3.6 trillion, it's only about 6%. Nah, if you look at the rate of interest on our income, $200 billion over $2.2 trillion, it's almost 10% at 1 or 2% interest. Now, what is going to happen when that interest rate goes up? And it's coming. It's coming. The interest rate on our debt currently now is what, 2%? Well, don't believe me. Go and check. You have to go and check these figures for yourself. Go and look at how much they're selling the treasury auctions for. Go and buy U.S. Treasury bonds or bills. This is how our system works. Um, our system, Congress wants to spend money, so they go and say, hey, we need money. The Treasury Department uh, wants to create this money. Okay. Uh, they go and say, hey, look, we need money. So what do? They sell treasury bonds. You can go Tuesday and Wednesday every week. You can go to the federal website and look at how much they're selling, how much the rate. So you put a certain amount in. It's up to you and other people and others, like companies or countries or the Federal Reserve or somebody, there's a bunch of bonds open. You can buy 1, 2 year, 10 year, 5 year. But all of this bonds really depend upon who's willing to buy it. Less and less people are willing to put their money into our system because they look at it. Would you lend somebody money who's making 65,000, but their wife is still spending 100,000? It's like, and they have a $700,000 debt, and with the variable rate interest rate, you're afraid the interest rate's going to go up. He's going and he's trying to grab these debt, buy or purchase credit cards so he could cover himself. And every bank he goes to now doesn't really looks at and says, well, I don't really want to lend this guy. He's a credit risk. That's what's happening. It's frightening to me. I don't see any real effort on the part of Congress or our senators to correct this. And I hear the economy is going to turn around and all this, but I want to see what's happening on our balance sheet. And our balance sheet, that's what I go by. And right now, what I see is frightening. It's like we are on a freight train, and we're heading downhill. And at the end of the hill, the bottom of the hill, there's a dead end, a brick wall. Not a brick wall, maybe a safety stop. But after that, there's nothing. That we run out of tracks, and we have a train crash. Right now, we are on a financial railroad train that is heading down the hill towards the end, whereas there's a stop there, and there's nothing beyond that. We are going to either slow this train down and maybe reverse it and try to climb back up this hill that we've started. And an uphill climb to get this thing back in because we've already gone over the top. We're heading down, and I see us accelerating. I don't see us decelerating. I see us accelerating towards this train wreck, a financial train wreck. That's what's happening. And I don't see anything different. I don't see any other things coming. Please, out there, if you listen to me, tell me where I'm wrong. Show me where I am wrong on this. I don't see it. I look at the figures. Figures don't lie. Liars always figure. That's what they say. And that's the problem I have. I look at this stuff and it frightens me. That's enough for now.